southbound, I've been hellbound, riding on the midnight train. Going too fast now, think I'll slow down, standing in the pouring rain.
What's going on, guys? Hey, Tristan and Tony back with the One Hell of a Life Outdoor Podcast. How's everybody doing? Deer hunting season's cruising. We got elk pictures coming in all over the place and bugles and man, that's a good time of the year, right?
Would love to be doing that. Shoot.
Oh man, right? And of course, we've been seeing what people did during teal season. Y'all waxed their ass in the South. It's pretty good. Actually, I just saw a stat from what's the one that flies there in Illinois? Forbes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they said it's 112% up.
What?
For blue winged teal right now on the Illinois Mississippi River.
Which Illinois season's out, so
yeah,
it must have moved
but they said,
real late.
Well, I'll get into it later, but bad news the rest of the way. Really? Like way bad news. Yeah. So anyway, we'll talk more.
They shortened our teal season by a whole week this season because I read about it. If the teal count to fly over is like under 4,500 at a certain point, they waxed a complete week of the season. So we had 6 days to shoot teal. Yeah, and that's you know how that went. I sat up there twice in one teal.
Oh no, dude!
Right?
Yeah, it was they were not around, man. So it's good to know they're here now. But
yeah.
Well, you know, I think like you always hear like the pockets, and of course on social media you're gonna see like people that smoke them more so than not. But I like our buddies in Arkansas weren't really getting into them, and they had opportunities to hunt. So I just struck me as kind of weird, and I don't really know that people like in Florida in particular. I mean,
I didn't see any big posts.
No, and of course, like your Texas, Louisiana, those kind of places are always going to smoke them. But I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe they just moved late.
Well, hey guys, without further ado, we got Cal Mccarty on here tonight. Cal's a good friend of ours, and let me just break it down for you. I mean, Cal, you can go more into it as you want to, but Cal's a very respected individual across the country in disaster recovery management, and a big mentor to me on that professional side. And on the fun side, he's a goose smasher. He guides for New Outdoors. I don't know. Maybe we have to show some of those pictures of the piles that these guys put up. But man, addicted waterfowler and a great man. And dude, we're so excited to talk to you about smashing not only Canada geese, but whatever the hell you guys can get your hands on up there in Northern Illinois.
Not only but this is the second time on the podcast.
That's right. That's right.
I'm glad the first one didn't crash you guys, man. I'm happy to be back on.
No, but man, we know, listen, honker time. And everybody's getting ready for it. And man, that's one of the main reasons why we wanted to get with Cal tonight, because honestly, I don't know anybody that is more addicted to hunting them, and it really puts a waxing on their ass. So, but Cal, man, introduce yourself and just take off.
Yeah, no, it's great to be back on with you guys for sure. Yeah, like you said, Cal Mccarty. I live in pretty much Northern Illinois, kind of southwest side of Chicago, not to associate with that city, but a really good area, pretty much kind of, I think, the honker mecca nowadays. I mean, no disrespect to where a lot of people kill a lot of honkers, but I don't think there's a better place to hunt them from opening day, which is coming up this weekend, through January 31st. I mean, we have 3 or 4 river systems through here. We have 4 or 5 big power lakes that hold them really tight for us before they really head south. And if we don't get a big polar vortex, they stay here all year. They get really smart, but we get big numbers of Canada geese here. So, yeah, man, really excited. Saturday is the opener, and today, man, we had
awesome, man.
We had a 15-degree drop in the weather, overcast, good winds today. I was like, "Oh man, that makes it boy not sleep for 4 or 5 days this time."
Yep. It's like your dog, always ready to go, man. You're sitting there just going, "Let me at him."
Walked outside this morning. I was like, "Oh, it smells like freaking landing honkers and ducks for sure, man." It was dark and cold and windy, and I was like, "Oh man, it's time, baby."
Oh man, but man, so. You know what? You just got back from Canada, bro.
Yeah.
And man, you guys put a beating on them. talk about that trip up there because, I think everybody that's an avid waterfowler, it's a bucket list thing, right? You got to get up to Canada somewhere and man, and see one of my close friends just go out there and have the time of his life. I just want you to share that with everybody, dude. Talk about that experience.
Yeah, it was our first time up as far west as we went. So we were in like really the southwest corner of Saskatchewan. We stayed in a place called Simi, Saskatchewan, which even coming back across the borders, the Canadian DNR didn't even know, like, where were you guys at? Like, this is where it was on the map. So we were like southwest Saskatchewan. We're about an hour and 18 minutes from the Alberta border, which is cool, and about an hour and 15 minutes north of the I think it'd be the Wyoming border.
Okay.
So we were really down in that lower corner, but what a trip, man. We were able to do some freelancing as well as work with an outfitter that we have a good relationship with that bought the licenses in that area. So never before was I able to really. I use freelancing loosely because he helped us get a lot of the permission that we were seeking up there. So it wasn't too much, on X or anything like that. It was, we found some hunts and we're able to use him to help us.
Well, that speaks strongly to you guys' character. I mean, to be able to network like that, I think.
I mean, that's the way it is these days, right? We all know that. I mean, around here, and we'll talk about it for opening day this Saturday. A lot of our crops aren't out, and we're out finding feeds and trying to build new relationships with permission because we just don't have a lot of the crops out. But it was really a little early from when we were up there. I mean, we had great duck shoots. There was a lot of specks around. We had a good crane hunt. And then there was a good amount of Canadas up there. It's funny because, the outfitter up there who's from, he's like South Central Kansas, hunts lessers, but not greater Canadas. He's like, yeah, there's not many of those around and I don't really know much about them. And then day 2, we found a feed. I'm like, that is enough Canadas to, he's like, well, you can kill 8 of them a piece. I'm like, there's 300 in that field. We can hunt them. We kill them. So he got us permission and we shot him in about 30 minutes. So he even went on that hunt, even though he couldn't. Really, because he's an outfitter, he couldn't carry a gun. He's like, I'll just film. He's like, I've never been under like just a straight Canada hunt up here, and we showed it to him pretty good. So the only thing that wasn't really up there, which broke my heart, was the snows weren't really down yet. We were able to kill a few snows on specs hunts, but we couldn't find. I gave up a hunt one morning to drive an hour north just to look for a snow goose feed, and couldn't find anything more than a couple dozen here or there. No big power tornadoes or power feeds with them, but. All in all, man, we had everything we wanted to hunt. The duck hunt was unbelievable. We shot one. The one time we used the outfitter, I was like, I'm done scouting. We'll hunt with you in the morning. He's like, good, because we got a cattle pond that needs to be shot like tomorrow morning. He's like, these ducks are jumping off of their roost hole to get in there to get a good drink, wash the feet off before they go feed. And he's like, it's got to be shot. And he wasn't lying. I mean, from first, it was 21 minutes to a 6-man duck limit. 21
wow.
And we were shooting 2 at a time, the kind of gentleman hunt, little wagers, see who could triple up. We were shooting 2 at a time and killed them in 21 minutes. I was like, you were joking about that, man. And I'll send you guys some footage of that one. It was insane. It was really
my gosh. Wow. What all did you guys shoot?
Not too much more. I mean, a lot of pintails, a lot of mallards. Killed a couple widgeon. Killed some redheads, some teal. That was pretty much about the mix of it right there.
Was you guys? Don't tell me you shot a redhead on a dry field.
No, it was on water.
Okay, I was like, dude.
We break that mold a few times up here though, because you can't kill wood ducks in dry fields. I'm like, God, man, if I had somebody with a lot of money, I'd take $1 million from them. I was like, we can kill wood ducks in dry fields up here. They won't really decoy per se, but they'll come out and give you a look first light for sure. But a good mix of ducks. I mean, it's just always disheartening because the pintails are just not ready yet, right? So you're killing all those pennies and they're just not turning. We killed a couple that were decent, but 1-inch sprigs, not full, not neck up yet. So they were the pintail hunt was great. The mallard hunt was awesome. And then like I said, mixed bag with everything else. So duck hunting was on point up there, no doubt about it.
That's killer, man.
That's bad. So what's it look like? I mean, obviously there's a lot of travel involved, and whenever you go up to Canada and everything else. But what's it look like from like a setup in the morning and that kind of thing? Like, kind of walk me through like what's a day look like for y'all? Like, pick one day and just say, if you guys just help people visualize, like number one, like I think it's important to talk about the relationship that you have with the outfitter, because Tristan and I definitely we've always greatly appreciated Cade and his guides, Colin, Grinder, Mose, any of them. Honestly, it's like helped strengthen the relationship locally. It means a lot to us. They're friends of ours, and I mean, like duck hunting aside, they're still our friends. You know what I mean? And that all started with us paying for a hunt. So I'm just curious for you to dive into that a little bit about the relationship building, and and then obviously, I mean, I know you were basically making light of the fact that you didn't have to go out there and door knock as much as you had to, but maybe that's working smarter versus harder. You know what I mean? So kind of dive into what that looks like.
Yeah, it was, going up there and then from the relationship standpoint, which we talked about on our last podcast, and how important it is, whatever you want to do. Met this outfitter bass fishing, actually tournament fishing is where I met RC. And, he was a big Kansas hunter. So met Kansas mallards, Kansas lessers, hunted with him a few times there. We did some turkey hunting together. And he gave us a call last year and said, I'm thinking about buying these licenses in this part of Canada. Would you guys ever come up? I was like, sure, 100%. We couldn't do it last year. So this year we got involved with him. He had kind of a loose schedule. So we went up for 8 days and, stayed at his lodge, made sure he got his, but also said, if you're getting ready for your next groups, we'd like to freelance a little bit. And we were able to, use the day, because you hunt twice a day, but the midday is like if you stop, you sleep, or you pig out and take a nap, and that's just not the first round of waterfowl, and that's not in my blood to go take a nap and get up and go to the next thing. I like to find it and make my own way a little bit. So the opportunity to freelance with him, because the relationship we had was awesome, and he appreciated it because he was still getting paid for his 4-day trip while we were up there for 8 and staying in this lodge. And, hey, you guys can come up, stay as long as you like. And if you get on and say you want to freelance, I can get my crew ready, clean decoys, whatever it looks like. So, we got up there. We kind of got over the border about 2 a.m., arrived in Simi around 9 a.m. and, got unloaded, took a little bit of nap because we just did it straight through about 23 hours. And then got up, and we weren't going to hunt that afternoon. So we went out and put a pretty good scout on and got right to the duck hunt right away. So, it's no different than figuring out, what we saw, where it was at, and then, making sure our permission was good. And we had real permission to be, then knowing the borders of the field, right? Where can we enter at? Where can we hunt? Anything to stay away from. Getting cattle in the area, talk to the farmer. So we were able to do all that pre-4 o'clock and have it locked in. So at that point, it's just kind of getting home, figuring out how you want to set it, and go to work the next morning. So it was really cool. That was a field hunt. So the setup's not much. A couple dozen mallards, up there. The spinners are, your lucky ducks are everything at that point because they hit them really hard. So it wasn't more than probably a 6 dozen bird sack because they were hitting that field, and then flipping those spinners on made it pretty easy. So it wasn't like a huge overhaul of a setup, but that's kind of what it looked like day one. And then you get down, you clean your birds and you break up in trucks and go find the next hunt. Man, that's kind of what I went to. So, but it was nice having that safety valve of finding. We freelanced the first 3 hunts, and then that third afternoon was like, hey, you're up today. What do you got? He's like, I got it. That's what he said. I got this honker hunt, but it's not much. And I'm like, oh, that's plenty of honkers, man. We can. I was like, you gotta stop thinking about those lesser feeds in Kansas, man. If you get 100 honkers working as tight as they were, I mean, we can get those things as long as they don't all come at once, which they don't this time of year. But
that's awesome stuff, dude. I bet that was a freaking blast.
It's so cleansing, man. You don't get you can't be fortunate enough to be in Canada every year, right? So
sure.
Getting back, it'd been 6 years since I've been back up. COVID knocked the heck out of that for a while, right? I mean, they were born closed for I think 3 seasons. No, I know 2 for sure.
2, yeah.
And then getting back up there was amazing. So it was really cool.
So what advice would you give to somebody that's listening to this and they're like, man, I just want to go hunt Canada, but I know like literally zero about like what it takes to go up there? I mean, would the best route be to try to find like a respected like outfitter out there, or is it worth trying to freelance? I mean,
I think if you have that little knowledge of it, you need to get with an outfitter, right? I mean, talking to him up there, how tight the zones are where they can sell licenses, right? Those guys do a really good job of securing permission, knowing what landowners are good to let you hunt and which ones are like definitely a no-go. And we hunted as far north as the next outfitter had licenses on, right? And they respect each other to that aspect of it.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I would always say if you don't have a lot of experience in Canada or experience waterfowl hunting and getting permission, you should always go after, an outfitter. When it comes to choosing one, really understand the areas of Canada, what you want to shoot, right? If you're after specs, or big spec hunts or a lot of big snows, you want to be in that western side. You can kill the snow geese, I think, pretty much anywhere, but the better spec hunt, in my opinion, is that western Saskatchewan, east central Alberta is where the spec hunting is just amazing. So knowing what you want to go up and shoot, right? If you're just up to do whatever, I mean, there's a lot of good Manitoba, Ontario areas, outfitters up there. I think it's just what you want to shoot. And I would always go with an outfitter several times before you try to freelance up there. Now, North and South Dakota, different story because it's the States, right? But
sure.
In Canada, I think you need to know what you want to shoot and always go with an outfitter and learn what's what up there. Because most of the understanding is just, when you get to the border, understanding how to have your truck packed and what to declare. Because if they want to see all your ammo or your guns or whatever it might be, you don't have to. Some people pack that stuff first. They got to unload everything, right? Just being quick at the border, not letting that bog you down. And then, just understand what licenses you need. Shooting times can vary up there. So just understand the laws and everything, how it's different in a different country really is something I'd say pay attention to as well.
Okay, yeah, no, that's really, really good advice. What, would you say, like, outfitter rates up there? I mean, are they kind of like in the ballpark of what you see, down here in your Arkansas of the world, $250 to $400 a day type deal?
Yeah, I think so generally. There's a few up there that'll run you, 600 a day or, a little higher, but, I think that generally, you're not going to see anything lower than $200 or $250 a day, but I think it's very similar rates. I think there's longevity to it too. I think, a lot of outfitters up there, if you hunt for 4 days, it's $400 a day. If you hunt for 5 or 6, it goes down to, $350. They give you a break. So there's kind of like the more days, the better.
Yeah.
But for what they offer, I mean, those full-fledged outfitters up there have a lodge. They scout for you. They clean birds for you. They package them for you. I mean, you can't be too critical when you see 600 a day even. You got a place to sleep. They're providing meals for you. You come back and, they clean your birds for you. They package them with a wing on to be ready to go over the border if you're going to bring birds back. You can't discount that stuff. You can't just look at it and go 600 a day. That's nuts because of what they do for you. The hospitality is amazing.
Now, I know this might sound like a dumb question, but do you have to pay in Canada currency or can you pay with US dollar?
Well, you can pay in US dollar, but that's where they hammer you. You want to use credit card, right? Because the credit card companies do the conversion for you. So like an example, if you get $35 in gas and give them $50 American, they give you 15 back in Canadian, which is, roughly 30% of the American dollar. Wow. So you always want to use, once you get over the border, you want to use your Amex, your MasterCard, because they do the conversion rate for you. And it's, if you're using all American dollars, you're going to be losing some money for sure.
Well, dude, that's a huge thing. I've never thought of it until now. So I'm smart today. But dude, I mean, just, really, just today, huh? Just today.
Well,
but I mean, I think that's like one of those little things, right?
I mean, if you look at it from the perspective of a blue collar guy, right? Like, and we're just innocently talking about what you need to do to go to
how much money you gonna spend overall?
Like a lot of
right.
Yeah,
30%, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of blue collar guys, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody just were like, oh yeah, I'm gonna bring $2,000 cash or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's a good point to bring up that could be spending more money doing it that way.
And if you need a new credit card, listen, you can contact One Hell of a Life. No, I'm just kidding.
you guys pushing plastic now, right?
That's right,
dude. It's funny. Not to get too sidetracked, I'll give you guys a 30-second story here. This guy Jeremiah that is actually coming to the Delta thing with us. He listens to this podcast all the time. He's a cool dude.
Right on, Jeremiah. Let's go.
He messaged me the other day because I'm always posting stuff cooking on my Traeger. And he was like, like, what do you think about the Traeger? And I'm like, I gave him my 2 cents or whatever. And I joked with him. I was like, yeah, and you can use code One Hell of a Life Outdoor Podcast for 50% off. I'm like, I wish, right?
Hey, that's right. Dreams are real.
It'd be nice to have a promotion with them.
Right? No kidding, man. So
I gotta plug in real quick. Are we good to pause for 1 second?
Yeah, you're good, man.
You bet.
So I realized that my battery just flashed. I'm like, oh, of course, right? Give me 1 second.
Or we could use this time to video something that we weren't planning on. Like, have you guys seen the brand new Williamson Outfitter logo? Check it out.
We do.
Look at this, y'all. You guys need to get down and see Chris and Bryce and those great guides and all
Trent
them.
with the mustache is probably more powerful than mine right now.
Oh, it's more powerful than Burt Reynolds, dude.
You got a fat stash going, buddy.
But you guys want to listen.
That's my new hunting season thing. I started that last year. That's my new thing.
Let me just do a real quick recap of what you get at Williamson Outfitters. Right, you can go after gators. You can go. He probably go spear fishing, but you can go and what do you call it?
Flounder gig.
Flounder gigging. You can go duck hunting. You can go inshore fishing. You go outshore fishing, offshore fishing. Listen, these guys create a one hell of a life experience.
Yeah, truly. And they
it's incredible.
He just posted something they're doing during duck season. They're doing like a cast and blast thing where you can I don't know, go fishing in the morning probably. I know those divers a lot of times they're shooting in the afternoon, so it's probably that kind of gig. But I would definitely get on that because that sounds like a good time.
But wanted to highlight, thank you, Chris, for sending us your new logo and new sign. Appreciate your sponsorship.
Sounds like a hell of a time, Chris, for sure.
That's right.
Sounds like we might have to go down there with Cal McCarty sometime.
That's right. Cal needs to know what it's like to go down there and to hunt. And like literally, like there was this one spot, and I'll just be real quick with this, that the most mesmerizing thing to me about it was the landscape. Mm-hmm. And we're out there hunting buffleheads, bro, and 360 degrees, you don't see land.
Really?
There's no land. But then you see people out there like half a mile away from you, like on the sunrise, and like it's only a foot deep.
Yeah, it's like
it's the weirdest thing, and I don't know. I just think I love that whenever you can hunt ducks in a completely different environment, dry field, timber, rice field, that's the whole
passion behind one hell of a duck season right there.
That's right.
Yeah.
But it's a great time.
That's awesome.
So all right, so let's talk about we got opening weekend coming up here in Illinois. Now, I know that you were telling me a little bit. It's a little tricky because of like the zones and stuff, how they do that in Illinois. Can you talk a little bit about that? Just so anybody new that's wanting to hunt up northern Illinois, then you understand that there are zones, right?
Yep. We have a north, central, and south zone, which are pretty in the thirds of the state, right? But where I'm at specifically, LaSalle County. You get on the Mason-Dixon line of north zone and south zone. So and the seasons are a week apart. So I'm talking, we're scouting one field right now that's loaded that we literally had to call one of the conservation officers because on the south side of what the line looks like on the map. Now, I was like, it's a little shaded right there. I think we're good to go Saturday, right? And then we were told differently. But and then there's one area that makes it real tricky right where I'm at, which is you get your north zone and south zone line, but it's north zone duck and south and central zone goose. So you can make the decision Saturday to go straight out and shoot ducks only. And you gotta wait another week to shoot honkers there or anything else. So I'll get you guys and you can post it the map of what it looks like. It's like north zone, south zone, and spidered out for like half the county where it's north zone duck and central zone goose. So it gets real, especially when you're like now with not a lot of crops out. It's like the one field we have. I'm like, that looks like it's shaded to me. And then of course another one of my buddies like, we better call. No, it's north zone. I'm like, I was completely fine with shooting that field, but now you got to play game warden. Now I know I'm breaking law, so I can't do it.
I like your assumptive close there. Cal, with your, yeah, I think that looks good to me.
That sounds like a salesperson.
It's a coin flip. There's enough ducks in that field. Let's go after it. For sure.
Hey, game warden, how do we feel about moving forward with this hunt on Saturday?
That's the thing.
Yeah, Jedi mind trick, bro.
When you got half the strap full and you see that green truck roll through the field, you're like, this was not a good idea. Because they're slick. They're like, you guys know what zone you're hunting in? North zone duck, central zone goose. You don't sound too sure of that. No, I'm sure. And then you don't know what the right or wrong answer is. So
no, I would just say
err on the side of caution.
Yeah, no doubt.
I would just do a total put him in his tracks. I'd just be like, do you like our governor?
Yeah. Right.
Oh god.
Just let him have it, dude. He'd be like, for sure.
Well, and everybody up here is, the federal workers shutdown, which is causing a major problem at the airports because air traffic control, right? Everybody around here, you've probably seen the meme, is like, does that mean that game wardens are on strike?
Yeah,
right.
It's gonna be a hell of an opening day now. We don't know all the game wardens are at home.
Yeah, people are like, we're gonna shoot the refuge.
Yeah,
they're like state game wardens don't bother me at all, but the fact that those national guys aren't involved, yeah, I might risk it.
Yeah, right, no doubt.
We've talked about on this podcast before, and from our perspective, and I'm sure your perspective too, Cal, game wardens do not get enough credit. Biologists don't get enough credit. All these folks that truly love what they do, that's why they're doing it. They don't get enough credit. But there is some states that just, for whatever reason, it seems like the game wardens are nicer than other states.
The image is different.
Do you feel from your experiences with the Illinois State game wardens up there, do you feel like they've been pretty positive or?
Yeah, I do. We have great relationships with all the COs in our area, right? I mean, from doing some guiding to being in the kind of predominant duck club up here, we have to kind of work with them, right? They're going to check us at some point, even though they know we're probably every time we're 100%, ticket free when they check us. But I think if anything, it comes down to what I've seen is the age difference, right? You get your younger guys that are, finally just out of the training officer stage and really want to kind of make a mark. They can be a little more stern, or maybe they just, don't know the things to look for and not look for. Where, the one game warden in our county, we know if he's coming, he goes up the blind and down it. He's like,
this fall, elevate your outdoor pursuits with Williamson Outfitters, offering professionally guided experiences along Florida's Forgotten Coast. Whether it's coastal duck hunting, inshore fishing, gator hunting, or flounder gigging, every Williamson Outfitters experience is guided by a seasoned, licensed captain, delivering world-class adventure with local expertise. From small private groups to large corporate retreats, our fleet of well-equipped boats and experienced guides deliver first-class outdoor adventures for sportsmen of all ages and experience levels. Call or text 850-251-8650 or visit www.floridaducks.com to book your trip. Williamson Outfitters, making the Forgotten Coast unforgettable.
First way up is paper, second way down is guns. I'm out of your way. Maybe you might spot check a bag real quick, let me see those shells or whatever. But when on the way, first way he comes up, give me your paperwork. When he comes back down, unload, let me check your guns. I'm out of there. He doesn't take up a lot of time. He'll make sure your birds are separated, which I think is a thing everywhere now. But in Illinois, it's a real thing. You better have your birds strapped and separated out instead of them just in the jack on the blind. But very fair, respect the hell out of them.
I mean, it's making it easy for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, think about that. You're walking up to, you don't know who they are, and you're walking up to possibly 6 loaded shotguns and who knows whatever else somebody's carrying on the field, right? I mean, you got it. They're always pretty cool on approach. And of course they know what they're doing. They've probably been watching you for a couple hours before they even approach you, so they know kind of what your temperament is. But
if I remember right,
a lot of what they do, man.
If I remember right,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, if I remember right, I mean, of course, you have the benefit of looking at it from that angle because you were a police officer, right?
Yep, I was double major in law enforcement and criminology to be a conservation officer. That's what I really wanted to do.
No kidding.
So, the fact that I never got to do it, I respect those guys so much. And look, if you're legal and doing things the right way, how much can they really bother you? If they might stay a little longer than they want to, but than you want them to. But if you're doing things the right way, respect them, give them what they need, and let them do their job. You know what I mean?
That's right.
We want them to catch guys that aren't doing it right. We want them to catch guys that are shooting over limits. We want them to catch guys that are trespassing. So be good to them and, give them any feedback they want. And if you're doing things the right way, conservation officers should never be an issue, in my opinion.
Well, and here's one thing that occurred to me the other night. I was watching you can't watch a game warden show or conservation officer show on TV anymore without at least having one episode where they're involved in somebody passing away, an unfortunate outdoor accident, a boat crash, somebody drowning, something like that. And let me tell you something, I think that we forget about the fact that how much they have our back in those situations. That is awe-inspiring to me when I see that. I mean, they come together like, look, man, we got to find these folks, and they care about you, your family, your safety. And I know everybody likes to give them shit about a safety vest, or a life jacket, or whatever it might be. But you can't mess with safety ever. You can't. And the reason why they take it so serious is just because it's those little things, that make a difference in sometimes life or death. You know, and it just hit me different the other day. I thought, man, you know what? These guys, these folks will always have your back.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in a troubled situation, which has happened. I mean, we've been stranded. I mean, it happens. You don't expect it to happen. That's why it's called an accident. Right. So, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, even up in the North States, like the guys checking ice fishermen, right, in the middle of the night on frozen or maybe not so frozen lakes. I mean, that's 100% a safety issue, right? That takes some. They're out there for a reason. So yeah, it's funny watching those game warden shows because there's always something like that. And we think about a plug and a shotgun or separated birds and everything, but you don't realize how much they have to look after our waterways, our fields, people being safe on them, all the things. You know what I mean? So best to be polite and respectful to them when they check you, and if you're not doing anything wrong, good to go.
That's right. We've
all learned a thing or two by maybe. I know a lot.
It's in the teens that morning, and maybe you're chasing ducks or geese, but now it's September and it's 85 degrees, and you're hunting early teal or geese. As a waterfowler, you need dependable weather protection that will not break the bank. Founded in 1996, Frog Togs is not only the leader in breathable wader technology, but a company you can depend on to keep you warm and dry, head to toe, no matter your hunting environment.
Game wardens use it as an educational situation where you might be doing something wrong. Maybe you didn't bring your gun case to the field or whatever the rule might be. And they talk to you about it instead of writing for it, right? That's when I love to see those actions. If they're out there to tell you, hey, next time, make sure your case is here within the field because you need to, if you're going near the road where your chuck is, the gun needs to be cased, and he could pop you for a $75 or $100 ticket for that. But instead he educates you on why they do it. I think that's always good to see that happen, right? For sure.
That is.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no, I think that's a great point, Kyle. So what you got, looking at, the next few weeks, and of course rolling into the South really kind of hits duck season here in the next, when I say the South, I'm talking Arkansas down through, kind of hits duck
Midwest states.
Duck season around the 22nd of November. What do you got planned out for the rest of the year so far?
I mean, man.
Well, first of all, he's going to be with us at Delta Thunder freaking Outfitters for opening weekend. Let's go.
Oh,
Delta
shit.
Thunder
Outfitters. Hell yeah.
Trying to be. I mean, yeah. As long as I'm welcome, I will be there. I will be there for sure.
Get out there.
You better be ready, Cade Weatherford.
Well, let's call him in right now. Wait, bump him out of bed or something.
He'd be like, all right.
Just really fortunate around here to have good hunting opportunities, right? Especially with the honkers. So next, few weeks or a month, other than getting down to Arkansas with you guys for the opener, I'll be around here, right? Just scouting and hunting as much as I can. So not too many guiding opportunities for me until come February, a few one-offs on some charity hunts. But other than that, just it's great, man. I just getting the scouts down, getting the pulse on what the birds are doing, and then moving into to hopefully have successful hunts, right? And then a lot of time with your buddies too, getting some kids out hunting, and it's always a great time of year, man, for sure. So
yeah, man.
My season looks like a lot of local hunting from here on out. And then, hopefully a couple trips with Canada happening. I don't know if I'll be running too hard from a trip standpoint. Down with hopefully you guys on Arkansas opener, maybe down to CRC in Kansas over right before Christmas. But other than that, around here until obviously the snow goose chase starts, which is awesome. So,
well, I can guarantee you one of three things if you come hunt in Arkansas. It's going to be really good, really bad, or it might be okay.
I think it might just be one of the two, right? It's gonna be really good or really bad for sure.
That's Cade's. I sold that from Cade. Cade said that before.
Did he?
Yeah, I think you guys have always seemed to do good with Cade Weatherford, man. I think he's he knows you guys all right down there for sure.
I'll tell you what, man, there ain't nobody better in Northeast Arkansas and knows how to shoot ducks.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about somebody that just knows how to kill ducks and will give the best opportunity,
give his heart.
Yeah, to put you on them. It's just a matter of how ducks are, and it's like at the end of the day, we've been out there opening weekends where we haven't fired a shot, and then we've been out there where the last 2 years where we've limited out, or almost limited out or limited out both days, so it's just like
we shot enough ducks that we were just like, you tickled all the way home.
Yeah, I mean, you just never know. And I mean, the cool thing about Arkansas too, really probably any state that's like a good waterfowl state, like if you're coming from Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, like some of these states that aren't like your, waterfowl hubs.
Yeah.
Like a bad hunt in some of these states like Arkansas, Kansas, Canada, whatever, which is a country, not a state. So some of these places, like a bad hunt, might to them be like you shoot a few ducks, and like to us is like, oh, that's a pretty good hunt,
Absolutely,
it's perspective,
It is. I mean, how many hunts did we go on with Tristan early on when we first went to Arkansas? And if we shot a pintail,
it was made, yeah,
a bull, like one, like between the both of us, we just needed one.
Yeah,
honest to God, and we were running around, and Cade thought we were. I won't use the word, but
dude,
he thought we were crazy.
I'll never forget. I don't know if you've heard the story, Cal, but
so you guys shot a bull pintail and no hell broke loose. Is that what happened?
No. So this was my dad's first mallard. This was probably
my first Arkansas mallard.
Yeah, first Arkansas.
My first mallard was me and Tristan. Actually, several years back, we stayed at a good buddy of mine's cabin on a doe hunt because we'd both already shot bucks in northern Illinois, and we went there, and we heard some mallards down in this lake below us. And I happened to bring my shotgun, and I went down there and stalked them some bitches, dude, and got me a drake.
Oh, boy.
In the air. But anyway, go ahead, Tristan. Sorry.
So we're like, I don't even remember. It was like the second year hunting with Cade. And long story short, it had been kind of slow or whatever, so we went back out for the afternoon. And
wasn't it pouring rain or something?
No. It was whatever. It wasn't bad. And he shoots this mallard or whatever, and it's crippled. So it's like, I don't remember if it soared off or whatever, but he takes off after this thing.
Listen, I didn't even. Cade didn't.
What's up, guys? If you want coffee that doesn't suck, you probably can guess what I'm going to say. Get the Duck. Dirty Duck Coffee is the official coffee of the One Hell of a Life Outdoor podcast, and they have a great lineup of different coffee blends. Everything from Morning Wood and First Flight to Dark Dynasty and Suns Up, Guns Up. You can't go wrong with Dirty Duck Coffee. And they have a great lineup of cold brew cans, mocha, French vanilla, original cold brew, and cinnamon teal snickerdoodle. If you want 15% off your next order, use code OneHellOfALife15 on your next order.
even like let me break or anything. Like I
We didn't
broke
have
like
a dog with us.
I broke like a dog that broke too early.
Always.
Yeah, it was me, my dad.
That son of a bitch didn't hit the water, and I was already running after
It's
it.
me, my dad, and Cade, and Cade's just, we're just dying laughing as he's like,
you have that?
running through. Yeah, I got a video somewhere. He's like running through like a foot and a half, 2 feet, and he like I got video of him shooting at this bird, and the bird just keeps going or whatever. And I think ultimately it got to the levee that was like probably 250 yards away.
Yeah.
And you like got up on the levee and ended up shooting it before it got in the other levee. But my Cade, you hear Cade, he's like, "Good shot, Elmer Fudd."
But Kate's perspective on the story, he's like, dude, I'm watching that son of a bitch run across that rice field faster than any 50-year-old person I've ever seen. And he goes, if he just kept throwing shells into that gun and letting it rip. And I mean, as I'm running, dude, I'm just like,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
It felt like that.
Oh, dude, I was chasing that son. I was taking 75-yard shots at that son of a bitch. It didn't matter. But he landed probably a good 100 yards away.
Yeah,
and
he
I was
soared
not
off.
going to be denied, dude. And
That sounds like a lot of work for one mallard, Tony.
oh, man. But the point to what we were making
How
is,
excited, we were.
it's perspective, right? And
That might have been might as well have been a 180
I didn't
inch
get.
deer.
No, I mean, we didn't. Both of us. It really. It was that important at the time, and amazing. I mean, you can even see in our first in our video where Tristan and I had our first little rain out of pintails with Cade in this one video, and the camera quality is not great. We're using GoPros and phones and everything else, but what you can see when Tristan walks up with that bull sprig is almost hyperventilation. He's trying the emotion. That's what I love about it. The emotion is so strong that every time I watch that video, I'm like, man, I remember that, how important it meant.
Yeah.
You know, and it was you got him on the wall.
I mean, and I think that's like the great thing that like Arkansas guides, or not just Arkansas, but any like good hunting area guides that people go to have the opportunity to really kind of bless people with, and that's probably why a lot of them do it. It's just this like, I mean, just mind-blowing experience where you get to like hold something that you've thought about hunting for all this time. Like, I mean, it's
surreal.
From a perspective where you don't even ever get an opportunity to even hardly see a pintail, to seeing them all the time. You know, we've walked both sides of the fence, and it is really cool.
I'm making a prediction. So, if you've been following us a little bit, our buddy Mario has been so denied of an Arkansas mallard. It's been hilarious, honestly, to this point.
He had to go to Canada to shoot mallard.
Yeah. So it hasn't happened, and it should have happened. Like, we've shot limits, and Mario's been there, and that Drake mallard did not happen. Like, not like really any fault of his own. Like, we even tried, like, there's some mallards working, like, nobody shoots unless Mario, until Mario shoots, and then they swerve off or something like that. So he was like going through the bad luck streak. Like, it reminds me of like my, like trying to shoot a big buck when I was younger. But anyway, what's cool is that you are on a spoony mission.
I thought, yeah. That was
And
like,
bro, listen,
I wasn't even going to say it because I don't want to see the comments. I just think all the memes. But
no, dude, I don't want to say.
I love me a good Hollywood spoon, but I've never shot one.
Yeah,
I've shot 2 hen spoonies in my life, and I've never killed Drake. So
No kidding.
Well, dude,
I'll trade you. I haven't, man. I've killed about every waterfowl known to man. I've never killed a Drake spoonie.
So that's the cool thing about like waterfowl hunting is like, depending on where you're at with the country, back to this one hell of a duck season thing, it's like depending on where you at, you can shoot all widgeons, you can shoot all spoonbills, you can shoot all mallards, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
That's the hard thing about guiding too is, you know, you get a group that comes in and like, hey, I just want to shoot a bull pintail, which I think is on the top 5 for every waterfowl, probably for the wall as a badass, you know, pintail. But you might have 2 or 3 good hunts set up for them that there's just not a lot of pintails around. You know what I mean?
That's right.
It's like, and so it's tough to fulfill everybody's thoughts. And I think that the reverse side for a hunter is, you know, you book a trip. Because I know this from snow goose season. It's like, you know, and the weather just you're hoping, but the weather just not going to work out good. It's you got to get in that mindset that I'm going to go. We're going to kick out middle day, or we're going to have a good time regardless. Like the weather's just not what it should be, but you know, and it may not be the hunt that we want. And you kill 20, and instead of your 100 that everybody wants, let's just make the best of it. You know what I mean? If you go there with only success in mind, I'm going to kill limited bull pintails. So I think you take away from the experience, right? That is a hunter, right? Because we've all been there when we're younger. Like we're going down to kill all my, the whole wall full of mounts, and you end up, shooting a whole bag of like ugly puddle ducks. So it's like you got to learn over time that you got to take what the good Lord gives you and what nature gives you at the time and make the best of it. You know what I mean? I found more fun in the last 5 or 6 years of my career, enjoying the blind with you guys and my son. And just the stories that are told, and hey, this valley yields a couple banded birds or a couple pretty ones. Cool. If not, we're still duck hunting with people we want to be around and enjoy. We saw the sun come up this morning. We cooked biscuits and gravy in the blind. I mean, how much better? Do you really need the wall hangers? You know what I mean? So how much?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I mean, to your point, like you said something about this earlier when you're alluding to what you're talking about with Canada, but like just the stress freeness of being like in Arkansas duck hunting. It's not just Arkansas, but us. It's like that's Arkansas to us. Just being out there with Cade, just like for us, I'm sure Cade is very stressful.
It's duck hunting Mardi Gras.
He's got whatever. But for like us, it's just like to your point. Like we could go out there at this point and just hang out, and it's so like you just check out, dude.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
so nice.
It's awesome. Yeah,
you do.
We on a pretty rural area here, but it's also urban a little bit too, because you got to watch where things are annexed in. I mean, we have a couple spots that you can hear people cooking on the grill behind it. You know what I mean? It's right on a subdivision or something like that. And then like you get up to Canada, right, where it's all gravel roads. And then, I mean, I don't know if I seen that picture, but one morning we were setting up for that crane hunt, and I'll send you the picture, but you can see the field lit up and the northern lights were just rolling.
Yeah,
and
that
so
was
like,
insane.
It's like you're setting decoys. You look up and there's like a Pink Floyd light show going on. It's like I don't give a shit if we kill a bird today or not. We're not going to do that again. Like
right?
Never sat in the middle of a rolled wheat field. In the morning it's comfortable and there's just green lights in the. It's just unbelievable. It was like how much more do we need? You know what I mean? I don't care if we shoot a bird today or not. This is something that 90% of hunters will never see. You're setting decoys with the northern lights just explode. It was amazing.
Did your camera catch that better than your eye, or worse than what? Like
camera catches it way better. No, the one I'll send you right now, it was amazing to the eye, but when you put the camera on it, it was like, holy cow! Yeah,
wow.
I was curious about that.
Yeah, the first morning RC was like, when you guys get out to that corner, just put your camera to the sky and take a picture. And it looked like it was just stars and dark. And you put the camera up and took a picture, and you can see the northern lights. Wow, so that one morning, you could see it to the eye. Like it was amazing, man. I've never seen anything like it. It was awesome.
Oh man, yeah. I want to try. Like, I'm curious how that would look with like. I don't even know. Like, I'm not like the most technically sound person. Like, I joke when it comes to like camera stuff. Like self-taught musicians. That's how I joke that I am with like the camera and the editing and stuff. It's like I'm not very technically sound, but I don't know if that would work on like a badass camera or not. But I would love to try it. I think did you bump your mic? Maybe.
Is that better?
Yeah, I got you now.
Yeah, I think I was trying to send that picture and I jumped on. I'll save it. But yeah, can you imagine like if you caught that on your video camera where like the first mallards drop in and there's pink and green lights in the background? It'd be amazing.
Be insane.
What is the best camera to get into, like, if in your opinion, if you're gonna start filming hunts, like what's a good cost effective camera to get into besides a GoPro, right? Or is a GoPro good enough?
Well, I mean, we've been down the GoPro road, and the thing about them is like if you're just gonna film like you and the guys in the blind, that it's great for that because you get 4K and all that stuff. They actually make them up to 8K now, which is like insane because you can't even post videos on YouTube on anything higher than 4K. So like, but anyway, I mean, the problem is that with that kind of like view, the ducks look like little like ants,
Yeah.
That's the problem. And when I like in terms of like good cameras, I mean, really, the things that I would look for is so like our camera, the reason we got it is because it's 4K and video, which was the most important thing. It's got slow-mo capability. It's got a pretty good battery life, good like sensors.
Several automatic options that are great.
Yeah, it's got some good stuff, but essentially what I think the most important thing you want to look for now is like the biggest thing is mirrorless now. So DSLR is like kind of like the old gen of cameras, and they rely on light to like get a good pic. Like mirrorless are better, and here I am talking about this like somebody that is not very technically sound.
You're talking about it from the perspective of what you've been through.
Mirrorless picks up light a lot easier than DSLR does, and mirrorless is kind of like the new age cameras that everyone's going to. And ultimately, I mean, you can get like a decent camera for probably $600 to $800 for just the camera body. But I mean, it just depends on what you're wanting to do. Like for me now, our camera is great, but now I'm wanting to record in slow-mo, and I'm trying to record 4K in slow-mo. Sorry. Our camera does 1080p in slow-mo, which is great, but it's not like as crispy as I want it to be. And the problem is our camera is probably like $1,200 for just the body. The next, like where I want to go, if I was to go with the next up with Canon, is probably about a $4,000 price jump. So we're looking at $4,000 or $5,000 camera now. So it's kind of just.
And we're not even talking lenses yet.
No.
Lenses. I mean, my dumb overview of it, in a nutshell, is that you can have a decent camera, but you need a badass lens.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, like if you're trying to make the difference, like budget wise or something like that, you're probably going to go with a lower price body camera, but the lens is really where it's at.
Well, and
the same thing with a rifle, right? You could have a shitty rifle, but if you got a good scope, you're in business. If you got a great rifle with a bad scope, good luck, right?
Well, unless you're like our buddy Drew, it doesn't matter if you give him a rifle or a scope, he sucks. I've been wanting to throw some shade at him for a minute. So
now, and also, shit. Now I forgot what I was going to say about the cameras.
Because it gets addicting. Like you start to film with your iPhone, and you're like, "Oh, I got a really good shot." And you're like, "Man, we have a lot of good."
And these phones are getting so damn good.
Oh, yeah. The other couple things I was gonna say. So, apparently they have cameras now, which I didn't even know this until recently. That when you're recording slow motion, will also record the audio. I never it'll
record it in slow mo.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. So it'll record the audio. Which is
the audio like
no, I think it has the option. If I'm understanding right, to like hear it how it is.
I'm sure it does, dude.
Which is really cool because I like to do a lot of I'll record something in like slow motion, and then I think it's called like speed ramping or whatever, and I'll play with that and speed it up and make it look fast for a second and slow it back down because you have all those frames to work with.
Yeah.
But that's really cool for the audio side of that. And also depending on the camera, I think somebody was just telling me the other day that Sony has the best low light technology.
Yeah.
So now
I think I've heard that.
We're we've always been Canon guys, but now I'm starting to question, well shit, do we need to go Sony next time?
Right. Or is it a marketing thing? I mean, whatever. But I think at the end of the day, it comes down to being a true, the better, we've had some incredible folks on here that I know have worked with you, Tristan.
Oh, no, way more than I do.
Yeah, on cameras and stuff like that. And I mean, when you're a true student of it, I would consider us that good with bows, right? When we go to shoot, we go to buy a bow. We know what we want. We know what fits us. We know the technology we're looking for. We know all those things that could say, well, that bow's $3,000 or $1,000. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, and that's why I prefaced all of this with saying I'm like the dude that self-taught guitar but can't read music. That's my
right on. Fair
that's
enough.
my camera and editing understanding.
Hey, the top 5 greatest guitar players of all time can't read a lick of music, brother. So you keep after it. Jimi Hendrix didn't know how to read music, and that son of a bitch could play. So you keep going. I've seen some of your work, man. It's amazing. Man. It really is. I mean, that's what kind of started. It was trying to get some stuff on video in Canada to send to you and have you work it. It's you start to get addicted to the better shots, right? And then you start to get away from the gun. I'd rather get a really good video than actually pull the trigger. You know what I mean? It's like we did a hunt with like Alti and Hunter Grounds last year when they came up to the club.
Oh,
and
sweet.
Hunter didn't put his Nikon camera down, right? Here's the in my opinion, the greatest single goose caller ever to walk the face of the earth, besides his father, who's the godfather of it all. And he didn't pick up his Benelli once. He was just taking shots and video, right? And I was like, there's got to be something to that when Hunter Grounds isn't even squeezing the trigger or using the call. Which, like, dude, we're having trouble here. Pick that goddamn call up, right? Drop that camera and start and pick that super mag up and get some of these things closed. So, but yeah, then trying to get a little more into. I was just curious what the best one was. You just want to pile pictures are good and pictures with your buddies afterwards, but it's like there's ways to commemorate the hunt better, and it is video, right? But then you got to worry about branches being in the way. I'll send you some of my better shots, some of my rotten videos from Canada. You're gonna be like, oh, this guy's got a lot. I mean, I had the shells flying in the camera. It was like, that was no good. That was no good.
Dude, it's like
it's tough. To the cameraman, right? It is tough.
Oh yeah.
To follow the birds in and pick up the shot call and then see them drop, right? I mean, it is a tough deal, man. It's really tough.
Well, and people that film in the timber, dude, is like the utmost respect because
the focus,
focused. Right? Oh my God, you cannot use autofocus.
Yeah,
on an A-frame, there's one goddamn piece of grass every time that there's 4 birds cupped in, and all of a sudden, ride it, kill them. Dude picks up a freaking piece of cattail. I'm like, God damn it, right?
Yeah, dude. No, it's like, and I'm such a hard critic on myself too, because like there's stuff like, for example, like this last video we just did on One Hell of a Duck Season, like there's a lot of great stuff in that, but from that day of filming was, in my opinion, of filming birds of what I know I can do, was 110% not my best work. It was just, there's stuff that was shaky, blurry when it shouldn't have been blurry. So I'm looking at it like, shit, this fucking sucks. And people are like, oh man, this is awesome. And I'm like, I don't know, man, if it's awesome, but I'll take it.
Well, that's a good
right?
place to be always, I guess. Right? If you hold your standard higher than the people around you.
It's so hard too, because you're like holding this camera and you're trying to control your breath, and like, you got this lens that shoots way out, but like the further you get out, the harder it is to stabilize that shot, and it's an ordeal.
Yeah,
and
it is.
With my crew in Canada, right, where what do you do in film and pick up the gun? It's like you finally get a good shot, and then you got to play music over it because of the X-rated language, right? Like, it was a great video, but we're never going to be able to show it to anybody without music over it, because all it was expletives.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so it's like, this time I'm going to film, and nobody try to say the F word at 5 seconds after the volley. Just try to hold it in. Just shut up.
I know, dude. We've been guilty about that once or twice, I will say.
Yep. No, man, but, here's one of the big things that I want somebody to get out of this tonight is that there's a lot of people out there, and I would say there's a vast majority of people out there that, me included, Tristan included, let's say you're a guy or a gal and you're just like, man, I want to go try to hunt some honkers, man. I want to go hunt some of these Canada geese. Like, what would you give as like your top 3 or 5 tips to, like, I just want to get into it and do the basics of like what I need I'm talking about from a gear perspective. Like, what are you looking for?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to be real versatile on eye, right? I think if you're going to kill honkers, at least really anywhere, you got to be okay with hunting in a layout line and being able to shooting from a laid down position, right? Because you can get them early with A-frames, but when they get smart or, you don't have the greatest edge hide, because look, they don't love hunting. They don't love working at edge of the field. Early on you can get it snow, they'll work an edge, but once they get shot at from an edge, they're going to use the center of the field. So, having a good layout blind and learning how to shoot from and call, because everybody calls sitting up with the t-shirt on in their house. Well, when you have a winter jacket on and a face mask and you're laying on your back, that call sounds a whole lot different. So does your air, right? You can't get as much air up to it. So I think you got to be able to be versatile from a hide. Get your A-frame or get your layout blind if you're fortunate enough, because those are expensive tools, right? I mean, I think I would always start. I would say get yourself a good layout blind that you're comfortable shooting in. That's comfortable. And then I don't think you can go decoys all day, right? I think you need, if you're starting out, I think now with the level of silhouettes that are out there, which I'm not a huge proponent of. I think, I don't see birds laying into them a lot. They'll work them, and they cast a lot of shadows. But you can go with a couple dozen full bodies and 3 or 4 dozen silhouettes for a pretty cost effective spread, right? So making sure you have a good mix of those. I think that's your start, right? And then it comes down to how you clothe yourself, because good honker hunts after the first couple weeks of the season happen in really inclement weather, right? So you need to be waterproof. I always said the first thing you should buy is the best, comfortable, good pair of knee-high rubber boots that you can find, right? Because your feet carry you, your legs power the wolf, so you gotta have a good pair of boots and good clothes. So make sure you're comfortable, you're dry. And then, get yourself a layout blind and comfortable in, and then whatever you can do from a decoy standpoint. And then it's all learning from there, right? I think you go out and a lot of people think, oh, Canada geese are all, I thought I saw the 100 of them standing in the field. How hard can it be? It's really hard. It's really hard. They're not easily fooled. So I would really start there, and then you work your way up. Then it bites you, right? Then you go from a $600 addiction to a $6,000 addiction. Failure the whole goddamn thing. So, and then it's just putting in the time, understanding, your setups and all that stuff. Like people just think you can go through. I try to take a picture when I see it, but you see people out there with an A-frame that's not even brushed. They're sitting in the middle of a field. I'm like, you know what you look like? A box with 6 heads sticking out of it. And so outside of gear, the first thing you need to know is, is how to play the wind, what conditions are good, and how to hunt. I mean, we've all listened to 1,000 waterfowl podcasts. There's one thing in common when the successful hunt's talked about, and that is pay attention to your hide at the start of the setup, the middle of the start of the setup, and the end of the start of the setup.
Yes, right? The whole time. Yes, because
waking up and buying decoys is all for nothing if you don't hide good. So that's the big thing,
dude. Cal, that is the point of the day. When I say that, I'm saying that from a guiding standpoint. When Kay taught me how to snow goose guide, it is so important at the beginning, at the middle, and the end of the hunt. And good guides do it, and you do it, is that customers don't understand. Like, let's say you're laying in a decoy spread, right? They don't understand that, hey, you sat up, we had a shot call, and now those decoys aren't laying across you right, or the hide's not good, or one thing, if you're a guide, probably one of the things that drive you the most crazy on a duck hunt or a goose hunt is people pulling stuff down in front of them that you set up, right? No. You set up all this stuff to be in front of them, and they don't understand. They just think it's an obstruction because they don't. I mean, I'm being innocent. I'm not throwing shade. They just don't know any better. But you can shoot through that shit. Your gun will get in the way of that, whatever. But I think that's such an important part of the guide, instilling that as well. But it's a very important part that you just hit home with me on that. It was that I just kept remembering that, we'd have a hunt that started off good or whatever, and then the birds weren't working good. And then I'd take a walk and start looking at how everybody looked and everything, or how the blind looked, or the A-frames, or whatever, however we were hunting, and I could find a problem. One time was soda cans.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, dude, it was soda cans, and something kept those birds would not work on the left side, and man, I walked back there and I thought, son of a bitch, the sun is hitting those things, and I'd love to say that I was a genius at that point, but we started smoking them after that, so.
You don't know what it is, especially late in the season, man. A reflector in the middle of the field is going to bounce them. Yep. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, sunglasses.
I taught my son that early, and he's a more relaxed, not a high heart rate hunter when it comes to valley time. And a lot of people comment on him because I've beat him since he was 8. It's like, because most people are like, hey, all right, guys, inbound honkers from the east, right? And everybody's like, where at? It's like, keep your head down. Like, I'm always like, I'll see them when they're at 40, and I'll definitely see them at 20. So keep your head in that mesh, and when you come up, you can shoot through it, you can stick your gun through it, whatever you need to do. When the shot's called, they're going to be centered out, and you can go through that brush or replace it afterwards. But what you don't want to do is be picking it out and having we call it pie facing, that's what everybody calls it. When you sit in that layout blind and there's a skin mask coming out, like, and the sun's bright not bouncing off of it, it's no good, right? You got to be hidden, man.
Dude, that's an important part, I think. You know, and we've heard it from Cade several times. It's just like, you know, you see this big wad coming in or whatever, man. I mean, the most experienced duck hunters, they got that hat bill tilted down. They're not looking up. And honestly, if you got a good dog, you're just watching your dog's eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that duck calls down at the water, and you're blowing that thing, and you're keeping that face. I mean,
don't let them see, man, or don't move, right? Especially those A-frames. Like, you talk about moving.
How many times do you start seeing barrels inching?
Or looking up, or just movement. Like, when the birds come, they're going to hit you from the side, and they're going to slide over where the sound is. So knowing not to blow your ass off when they're inbound, because they're going to pick up the sound, and they're going to hit you from the back right every time you slide over where that sound is. At that point, if you don't have good layovers in your A-frame or your pit, and you got just this movement, right, they are gone. You know what I mean? So, so when you're guiding, you always tell, hey, be real still, don't move. When I'm not calling the shot here, just don't move, because right now they're coming in first look. They're trying to figure out where that sound is and if they want to stick around. And if they see, a head pop up or somebody, reaching for a candy bar or something, like, they're gone. Other at 70 yards, they didn't see that bullshit. Next time you get binoculars, see those ducks' heads going like this. They don't have a kink in their neck. They are looking to see if it's safe.
That's exactly right.
I mean, you ever watch a mallard really work a spread like that? His head the whole time.
Oh, dude, they do.
What do you think they're doing? They're looking to see if it's okay to come down there now.
Yeah, they're not looking for what's right. They're looking for what's wrong.
Absolutely, they are. Absolutely, they are.
I get that a lot. Guidance knows. It's like, why are we side shooting them? It's really hard. It is, but I play the sun all the time. Like, they're going to come to the vortex. They're going to come to the motion where a lot of the decoys are moving, where the big clumps are. And today's is not a real great day with maybe low wind to be in their line of sight, right? They can hang up there a while. They're going to pick it out. We want to give them as much room as possible. And when you can get the sun in their eyes, or even if it's overcast, a little bit of glare in their eyes, and then play that, we're going to do it, right? Because with them not seeing and us seeing well is better than having to take a side shot or no shot at all. Right? So
that's right. That's right.
Those west wind days are prominent up here through the middle of the season, even in the winter, even the late season, right? And it's like, it sucks because the sun's in your eyes. So it's you want to be. We try to kick it out and shoot inside shoot a lot of times. One, when you're not in their line of sight, get your lucky ducks out to the side. Wherever they're going to key on, we just don't want them seeing us in the background, right? So get the hell out of the way, right? It's just better that way.
That's right. That's right. Well, man, dude, listen. We can talk all freaking night long, dude. I love this guy. I do.
Man, I love you guys are awesome too.
And what I love about our podcast is that, we get to have folks on here, and sometimes it's the first time I've met them, sometimes people I've known for a long time. But, what means a lot to me even more is that when I know the true character of people, and I just don't have a problem with recommending them. I mean, at all. And this is the kind of friend you want to have, folks. This guy, Cal, thank you for everything you do for me, bro, professionally and from a hunting perspective. I know that you've got some open doors for us to come up, and he's trying to tempt Tristan hard with coming up there on that honker hunt in December, January. So
you guys got to be up there. The first snow, you got to be up here.
Definitely
we're just going to have to, dude, it's going to be like what we used to call it in high school, take it.
Well, honestly,
just take it.
Like, our schedule's pretty open December and January, so we'll we can have a little bit of a buffer window there where we get a call. We're on call.
That's right, we're on call.
You just watch the weather. We get that first 4 or 5 inches, man. Just start driving. Just come on. When the first few days of that first snow, dude, I promise you, we will lay them down. And again, we've seen all kinds of birds work in all kinds of light conditions or whatever, but the first time you see a greater honker dropping into a decoy spread and he's blowing steam out of his nose 20 feet, like, you're gonna Like, hey, are you gonna shoot him or not? Like, I can't. Like, I've had so many guys the first time from like my like friends in the South come up and be like, dude, they just lit 2 feet in front of the blind. You gonna shoot him or what? Like, that was freaking awesome. I'm like, yeah.
Wow.
Honkers in the snow are just badass when they're just blowing that steam out. It's pretty amazing, man. You guys you're gonna get the experience of this year. We can all work on the road. If we don't do well the first couple of days, I promise you're not leaving until you kill a good strap on.
Can't wait, man.
Can't wait.
Well,
Good to
brother,
see you guys, man. Thanks for the chance to be on with you guys. I appreciate it. For a local hunter and guy just like you guys, I don't get to do many waterfowl podcasts, so I appreciate it.
well, you make it easy, bro. And we definitely can't wait to get you on here, showing our success. Maybe if we make that happen, and hell, who knows? We might just do a podcast up there.
Yeah,
Stay tuned this weekend, boys. It's going to be on this weekend, Saturday morning. You know where I'll be. You know where you can find me, brother.
Lay them down, man.
Hey, we need listen, Cal, I need you to make this shit happen. Listen, we need a generator that makes zero noise to power our podcast system, that we can do a podcast live from the Honker Blind in Illinois.
I don't think the people listening would love. I don't think the people listening would love the
Right. Yeah, right. No doubt.
If it's anything like blowing a speck in, like, anybody that I've watched that's really good at blowing a speck, dude, by the time they get done with that run, they just look like somebody that got left in the desert for a year and a half. I mean, dude, they're just like, right? Yeah, their face is. It takes a lot of effort, but no, bro, man, thank you so much for who you are and what you do, and man, we'll have you back in here, and in worst case scenario, we'll talk about smashing some snow geese when it comes that time.
Oh yeah. All right, boys, we'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, brother.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Kyle. Appreciate you.
See you guys.
I've been southbound, I've been hellbound, riding on a midnight train. Going too fast now, think I'll slow down, standing in the pouring rain.